come across this tarot reading, there's someone out there that's confused by your silence. You went frozen, no words, stone wall on this person. It's not what they think. Where for some of you, you have someone that might even think you're upset with them because we have confusion here. All right, so I will say your silence is creating a little bit of confusion, but this reading is revealing the truth. It's confessing to the cross watcher that it's not what they think it is. It just feels like it's private here. All right, now you could be any zodiac sign. The reading is general and timeless, so just take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't for the next person. But whatever zodiac sign you are, it looks like you're ready for a new phase. All right, we do have ascending, learning, transcending, preparing for union, new phase. Manifesting, and then open heart, receptive, empathy, and vulnerable. All right, so whoever the cross watcher is, because for some of you, I keep saying cross watcher, so there might be a cross watcher that's maybe watching tarot readings out there, trying to see why it is that you've been silent or no words when it comes to them. It's not personal in this reading. It looks like you're very focused here. All right, now just a reminder, we do have an Akashic Records mini course that just launched. It's right on the website, 144bluerosetemple.com, on the Shop Blue Rose section. And if you would like a summer tarot reading, a private session with me, also go to the website or check out the box below. All right, collective, you are manifesting in silence, but it has nothing to do with this person. So there is someone who has taken your silence very personally. However, you know, for some of you, there is a song that says personally. Now, it is a West African song. So for some of you, that song, and I've even forgot what it's called, but maybe it's just called Personally. So maybe for some of you, that resonates. This person was taking it personally. However, you are building in silence. You do not have a closed heart. Like, there's someone that is very offended by your silence. They're just like, how dare the collective stop talking to me? How the dare, you know? The collective move on without me. And it's not even like you're moving on without them. You're making sure that you have what you need first. And you're very focused in this reading. All right, well, I'll show you these cards over here. We have open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. And you know the saying that until it's complete, don't broadcast it? That's kind of what this reading is too, that something's not complete yet when it comes to you and whoever this person is. They just can't see what you're working on. All right, but the key thing here is you are creating something in silence, in private. It's absolutely not personal. Let's see who's confused over here. Why do we have, for the collective here, for ascending, manifesting, open heart, why do we have confusion, silence, revealing the truth? Why do we have confusion, silence, revealing the truth? Crown chakra, multiple doors, adjacent possibilities. You're going through a beautiful spiritual process. Now, we do have ascending here. All right, so you're going through ascension. Crown chakra can resonate with you, or Archangel Uriel can also resonate with you. Yeah, you're going through doorways and gateways. You're timeline jumping. But in the process of it, you're protecting your energy. So whenever you're coming across this reading, you're about to timeline jump, or you're already timeline jumping. You're ascending. But to protect your energy, you are being led to be in hermit mode, to be in silence, to be mindful of who you share information with. This is a season, a cycle of advancement, of ascension, without saying or explaining anything. I'm going to actually grab a card that's right over here in the corner. Now, what do we have here for the collective on confusion? No words, revealing the truth. The Shadow Queen or King over here. Now, it does say learning and then acquiring knowledge. For some of you, what's also coming through is you know when not to speak. That's something that someone doesn't see in this reading. There's a quote, isn't there a quote that says, don't speak on things you don't know about? Isn't that a quote? Like, it doesn't say exactly that, but something along those lines. Try not to speak on things that you don't know about. And so you stood silent, or staying silent. This is definitely a season, a cycle of building right now. And it's confusing people or a person. Again, people take silence, this person at least can take it personally, or a lot of people take silence personally. If you, or not even if you, whenever you adjust the boundaries, it can kind of test people, but you're just being a chess piece, a chess king or queen. For the collective here, why do we have ascending, manifestation, open heart, vulnerable, empathy? Yeah, you are more being patient and discerning. It says discernment, clear visions, details. There's something in your life that this person doesn't see. Okay, so this is for those of you who are building in silence, patience and stillness. You could be in a cycle that's taking some time. For some of you, there's something along the lines of learning or acquiring something over time, like compounding. It could even be compounding information, right? Some of you, I'm seeing learning, compounding something, saving up even for something. What this person doesn't see or realize is this is what you're doing. I want to know why we have the confusion card. Why do we have the card confusion? There's people. Yeah, people are confused about you. But this is kind of the reading where it's not their business. Influences, others involved, third parties, intervention, manipulation. That's the thing. Your silence, though, is also protecting you from manipulation. Interesting that we have the Shadow Queen and Orking manipulation here as well. And so you're more, there's a quote of only confuse my enemies. The only people that would take this the wrong way, are those that may manipulate or intervene on this process of yours. All right, so let's dive deeper into what this is. There's something about this confusion card. Why do we have confusion and third parties intervention? All right, I will say during this process, whoever is not not even that. The people who are confused, and not even that either. It's not even the people who are confused. There could be people who are questioning, like, why is the collective a little bit more private suddenly? A little bit more quiet suddenly? People can wonder, but I will say those who just are confused or take it the wrong way, you're being protected from those things and those people. We do have distance. All right, this is a season, a cycle that God is going to distance you from people, number one, who are confused about you. Because you're pretty much anchored in your truth here. You're doing what it is that you have to do. And so what I'm seeing with the distance, separation, space, and blockage, this is going to start happening in your life. All right, the people who are not coming with you to the next level, the next door that opens, they will start to become confused. They will start to question your motives. Meanwhile, it's all innocent here. But I will say, part of you, you're protecting yourself because you're vulnerable. Something has not finished yet. It could be a project. It could be you're learning something new. It can be the work on yourself. It could be this timeline jump and ascension. It's not finished yet. And it's protected as, and even as I say that, I'm actually seeing Toweret. So for some of you, a hippo can resonate with you. In ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, there is the truth. There you go. Toweret is making things very clear right now. Honesty. This is Toweret, okay? I do actually have Toweret here. Now, in ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, Toweret is a very protective deity. Whatever it is that you are creating, she holds in her belly. Now, hippos are one of the deadliest animals in the world, all right? But that's the power, the protection of this hippo. Toweret, though, also represents the protection of your creations as they're being built. With the truth, intentions, and honesty over here, You're being very protected as you just simply build. And anyone, though, who tries to, like, say, think otherwise, who tries to intervene or to overstep these boundaries, you're going to be protected from those people or that person. It's not personal here. And we do have the single card, okay? So for some of you, something about relationships, but we're going to put that one back. If it comes back out, it's meant to be. What do we have here for the collective? Why do we have confusion? Third parties, intervention, separation. There might be someone who wants a second chance. Making amends, second chance, reconciliation, opportunity. And then we have intuition, heart song, telepathy, inner knowing. So for some of you, this can be someone from the past. Okay? Oh. Let's see. Why revenge here? Why revenge and retaliation, plotting, pain? And this is why we set boundaries with these kind of people. Okay, collective? This is why. I try not to do the nail thing, but this right here. You got so confused that you plot payback for the collective when the collective is really just minding their business. This is like you at home. This is you at home in your pajamas with a face mask on. Non-gender specific males, take care of yourself too. Self-care, divine masculines. This reading, I almost want to say, is ridiculous. But I'll tell you why this reading is ridiculous. Revealing the truth confessions. When someone's trying to plot payback on you, you're plotting payback and revenge because the collective decided to learn something new, decided to start to build, is doing really positive things. There's someone here that has taken your silence so personally to the point that this person is dangerous. And I'm seeing two different sides. I'm seeing them looking at you through a distorted third eye. I'm seeing you. And it's just like, well, look at this person here. Like they're holding a heart and they're in a white dress, but like the way they're looking at it. Oh my gosh, I never realized there's someone in the back. Disgusting. Yeah, where it's just like, this is a reflection of the other person. This person is so triggered by your silence. Meanwhile, this is the type of situation where, like, say you're not answering the phone, you're studying, say, for a test. Say you're finishing your master's, your PhD, your whatever. You're studying for, like, a test, you know. I don't know, say you're getting a certification in Reiki and hypnotherapy and whatever it may be. At the end of the day, you are studying. So this person looks, and I just have to say the words, this person looks stupid. And I don't really talk like that often, but this person really does look a little bit stupid. Where this is someone who's like plotting back revenge and I'm going to get them and I never deserve that. And it's like, whoa, the collective is silent. You're right. The collective has not maybe answered the messages of this person. The collective is silent. Yes, the collective put some boundaries. The collective, rather, is applying boundaries in this relationship or in their life right now in a different way, you know, and so you are moving differently. It has someone so triggered, breaking point and revenge, that it's like, well, you're kind of proving me right here, you know. Let's see. For the collective. For the collective, I'm this person that's confused about them. Why do we have revenge and breaking point? This person is actually going to deal with their own karma if they keep it up when it comes to you. Like, this is someone that it's like they would get karma. Obscurities, secrets, mysteries, concealing. Going deep into shadow work. I was just seeing, and I don't have the camera today on the skull over here, you know, but I was just seeing Hades in my mind's eye, the shadow, right? This person has a shadow of control. Here's the key thing in this reading. You're not up to anything. This person just wants to know. That's a shadow. When you have to control every aspect of your life, you have to know everything about everyone, you are seeking safety through control. It's a very sly form of control. It's and our secret's always great? No, but it's not always a secret. And that's actually just the point of this tarot channel. It's private. It's not a secret. And that's how this tarot channel started. It's private. It's not a secret at all. But it's private. This right here that you're hiding, it's not a bad secret. Like what you're hiding is like you taking a test and like, congratulations, I passed. And then look at this person where you're holding up the mirror, your energy naturally, it's like, look at you. But it's like, look at this person here. This person reached their breaking point when it comes to you. You're teaching this person such a big lesson. Stop trying to control. But this person, again, like they may think that you are. You have nothing to hide, but it truthfully is not their business. And this is private, say, information. And what you're doing here is actually a good thing, because it does say learning. It says learning twice here. Hoping, expecting, faith, manifesting, open heart, receptive, empathy, vulnerable. You're either learning, you're in a vulnerable place, something's not done or complete or finished. It could be within a personal cycle. You could be working on something without of you, some sort of project, manifestation, goal, or intention. So this makes sense to me here. Even the silence would make sense to me. Again, like the word secret, it can be triggering, but not knowing something is not a bad thing. It's not evil or harmful at all. I do find it interesting that when people say are left in the unknown, ultimately that's what it is, the hangman energy. People do not like to be in the unknown. This is someone who will get karma if they keep trying to figure out your secrets over here. If they keep trying to search for answers of like, what is the collective up to? This person is going to get it. And by get it, they're going to get some form of karma. Searching for answers, blinded to truth, watching you online. This person just wants to know. But again, that's the key thing here. The shadow wound is control. And you're not up to anything at all, which again, it just leaves a big mirror on this person. Now with the confusion card here, again, your enemies will be confused. This person's going to end up becoming distracted. Okay, if they don't stop it when it comes to you, they're going to end up in a different situation that takes their focus away from you. I'm seeing it very specifically. Say they're so focused on you, this, and that. They're going to end up having something else happen in their life where they're not even able to concentrate and focus on you because they're too focused on other things happening in their life. But what they're not going to realize is that would have never happened in their life if they would have just stopped focusing on you. All right, so let's see what this is. So yeah, your spirit team is telling this person, you're going to need to stop focusing on the collective. If not, there's some form of karma here. Let's see what card this was. 8 of Cups. All right, walking away. This person, it feels like on a spiritual level, is going to be forced to walk away from you. Where if this person doesn't stop trying to figure you out, they will be distracted. And by that, I mean Spirit's going to have something else karmic happen in their life to the point that they can't even focus on you because they're forced to focus on something else that's karmic. For the collective here, why do we have confusion, silence, breaking point, revenge? Why the Two of Swords and the Ace of Coins for the collective, for confusion, silence, breaking point, revenge? This person's being cut out of your life right in the beginning here. Now with the Shadow Queen over here, You are seeing this shadow in this person. Because we do have acquiring knowledge. It seems like, though, too, you are learning. It says acquiring knowledge. But it says insecurity, manipulation. This person feels like your silence is manipulative. You're doing what you have to do. That's what this is showing. Okay, why do we have the Two of Swords here? Why the Two of Swords for confusion, silence, breaking point, revenge? Why the Two of Swords? Why do we have the Two of Swords here for the collective? Why the Two of Swords for silence, confusion, breaking point, revenge? We have a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or a Sagittarius here. So you can be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or Sagittarius. You could also be dealing with one. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. And then why the Wheel of Fortune here? The Spirit had to cut out this person so that you can manifest. So again, this is either Sagittarius, it can be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. You can be any of these energies. We also have Gemini here. We have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn with this card. We have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So we have a little bit of everything except, you know, the fire signs here. What this person didn't realize is that they were the one that were blocking, not that they were even blocking your forward movement, but you actually accelerate much faster without them. And the reason being is what's going on in the unseen. So on a subconscious, unconscious, spiritual, and astral level, this person keeps trying to figure you out. Like I see eyes upon you, where this person is like really, and what I'm seeing is it's their thoughts. So they might be focusing on you online, like looking up your accounts, things like that. This person also just wants to know. And it actually, and it's at the beginning of this reading that this person's energy is cut out from your energetic field. It's blocked. But that's so that all of this can happen. You know, where sometimes it's just like, it's not a secret. It's just not their business. It's not time yet. It's private. But everything is all good over here. You know, like that's what I'm seeing in this reading. Why the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician card? Ah, you know what I see here? This person would get karma if they keep it up. Why the Two of Swords, King of Swords, and the Temperance card? Oh no, this person would get karma if they keep it up. King of Coins in reverse. Where what this person doesn't realize is, like, as they're trying to figure it out, like they're trying to look you up, they want to know, they're trying to figure out the patterns, and it's like, this is a time where the collective is meant to be left alone. Okay, so for you, collective, like this is a hermit mode kind of season and cycle, but it's also the kind of thing of do not enter. Like enter at your own risk, enter at your own, at your own expense. Oh God. But quite literally, you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, the Five of Coins, and then you have the King of Coins in reverse. Where this is a type of situation of like, enter at your own expense, not even your own risk, your own expense, where you're actually being very spiritually protected here. You are actually in a place that you're very vulnerable. Look at that, the Chariot card, Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, the Chariot card. You're in a place, a space, a time right now in your life that you're very vulnerable. So what this person doesn't realize is even that energy that they're in, that they think is innocent, it's actually harmful to you. Even if it's, say, in the unseen, this energy is being projected your way. They're trying to figure things out. You know, you're in a season, a cycle that God, your spirit team, you know, it's just for you and them. You know, and again, it's not a secret. You're not hiding anything, but this is not a season and a cycle that involves this person or maybe involves people at all. All right, for the collective here, why do we have the Ace of Coins here? Why the Ace of Coins? For the collective, why do we have the Ace of Coins for confusion? Why do we have the Ace of Coins for confusion, silence, breaking point, retaliation? We have the Star card over here. Why Ace of Coins and the Star card? Why the Nine of Cups here? For confusion, silence, breaking point, revenge. Why the Nine of Cups? Why the Queen of Coins, the Nine of Cups, and the Six of Cups? For silence, confusion, breaking point, revenge. If this person only knew what you were working on. Now, I will say, though, that's part of the reason why they're not going to be part of it. They keep trying it, they're not going to be part of it. Kind of thing. Where, like, this is not to be figured out. This is not even for this person to know. We have you end up the Hierophant by the end of this reading. Now, what is the Six of Cups here? For silence, confusion, breaking point, retaliation. What is the Six of Cups here? And the Three of Swords? For silence, confusion, retaliation, breaking point. We did have adjacent possibilities here. It's a card of multiple doors. We have the Seven of Cups here. Multiple opportunities, options, doors. It can also represent illusions here. Judgment, Knight of Wands. Why Judgment and the Knight of Wands? For confusion, silence. Six of Coins over here. You're meant to receive something. This person will learn a freaking lesson. And it's even like the collective, you may even be like trying to telepathically tell this person, you need to stop. You know, Six of Coins over here. You're supposed to receive something. That is judgment. There is someone that is trying to cause like chaos. This can also be someone from the past. Remember, we have the card here that says second chance, reconciliation, making amends, opportunity. But this could also be someone who you moved on from. Like, this is someone who wants payback. This is someone who sees that you're continuing on without them. However, this person is dangerous. And the reason why this person is dangerous is this is the type of person that feels as if you're doing something to them. Like, that's the shadow queen or king there, where you're not doing anything to them. You're moving forward. You're learning, etc. But this is someone who's taken this personally to the point that it's like dangerous, almost. Why the Judgment card, the Knight of Wands, and the Six of Coins? For retaliation. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Why Judgment card, Knight of Wands, Six of Coins, and the Queen of Cups here? Ace of Swords, this is the truth. Page of Wands. So Judgment card, you're meant to receive. This is the truth. Knight of Wands. Like, it's time. You're supposed to go through this cycle. You're supposed to ascend and to receive. Now, there is energy from the past here, though, that's like, no, you're not, kind of thing. And Spirit's saying, no, they are, kind of thing. Where someone, this is a deep shadow, because this person really feels as if they were right. This person is trying to block and stop something that is destiny. And that's the key thing here. This person is trying to block and stop something that is destiny for you. It's not always a secret. It's not personal. This is sacred information. It's a sacred journey. It's a sacred cycle you're going through. You know, where it's not personal, it's just me and God right now, kind of thing. This is someone who I will say, like, kind of is an enemy to you, where, you know, again, there's the quote of, if they become too confused, it's because they were your enemy. This person's getting so confused that it's like, damn, you know, where this person's becoming your enemy without realizing it. Ringing in my left ear as I say that. And I will say they're cut out right at the beginning of this reading, but this is someone who And I say that this might be a deep shadow because I see this even in spiritual community, in the love and light. Trying to force, say the reality shift, trying to force things. But yet they claim they don't, love and light. This person is trying to be controlling. But they don't even realize that they're trying to control you. This is someone who's trying to block and stop your ascension process. But again, they don't realize they're trying to control you. This is someone who's taken it personally that there's been a shift. And ultimately, there's just a shift in boundaries between you both. This person is taking that personally. But as long as this person feels that you've done this purposefully, you're being protected from this person. Now, why the King of Coins in reverse here? Why the King of Coins in reverse? This is justice. Oh, now, you could be dealing with a fire sign. We have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Sagittarius. Yeah, so fire sign. So Aries, Leo, Sag, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. You can also be dealing with the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But what I'm seeing is they may experience like financial kind of karma if they don't stop hyper-focusing on you. This is someone who, when someone's doing an investigation, like in say the police precincts, right? Like where they have like a board, like a cork board, and they have like all of the notes and it's all connecting. That's what this person is kind of doing to you, but that's why it's like, and not that it's scary, right? You're not scared, but it's like the way that you're acting and trying to put everything together when there's nothing here is kind of scary. And it's actually to the point where I'm like, whoa, that if someone becomes that confused about you, yes, it is scary. And yes, they're not on your side, and they are so deeply confused that now there's a block. Now there is a spiritual boundary because they're so deeply confused about you. And ultimately, that's why you're being protected in ways that you don't see. When someone becomes too confused, not that they become your enemy, but this person just wants to know, but that's a shadow wound of control. And it's also not okay to just want to know, say if I put it this way, right? We're reading right now on YouTube tarot. People all the time say they book a reading about anyone or this or that. They just want to know. But here's the karmic stuff about people, not the karmic stuff. Here's why it could be karmic for you just wanting to know. It is not okay for me to just go into my neighbor's house because I just want to know how they live. I just want to know. That is someone to be concerned about. I don't know. It's weird when people just want to know. Why do you just want to know? Does it bring safety to your nervous system that you can predict? And ultimately, that's what it is. We did have the card unpredictable here. I don't think it's here anymore. But the card unpredictable was on the bottom of the deck here. So if this person needs predictability to feel safe as a person, that's something different. I can understand that. But to project that upon you, where that's how deep that this goes. This might be someone who, and I mean most humans, right? We are linear. Predictability does bring safety. Do you need that? No, you don't. Where that's not guaranteed or it's not a given. We must make sure that we can keep our own nervous system safe in the sake of unpredictability, which is just life. And you're giving this person I heard a run for their money, where for some of you, I don't, whatever that may mean. But then two, yeah, you're teaching this person though, where you're not the one though. And you're also not doing anything for this person to be unsafe. Where it ultimately, this person goes into deep shadow work when it comes to you, because why are you trying to just simply control for the sake of control? And if we word it and we say it out loud that way, oh, I just want to know. I just wanted to know what my neighbor's house looked like. There was no reason. I just wanted to know. No, that's kind of weird. You know, like you could say it out loud and it seems casual. If we take a moment to go deep into the shadow, it's kind of weird. You know, you don't just walk up to strangers and say like, "Oh, I just want to know, what does your house look like? I just want to know." You know, word it that way. Let's say it out loud that way. It sounds a little bit different, you know, than, "Oh, I just want to know." No. Why? You know, what are you going to do with that information? Does it make you feel safer by always just knowing? You know, I don't know. So, for the collective here, let's go back to the beginning. Why the Two of Swords, the Temperance card, and the King of Swords? Why the Two of Swords, the Temperance card, and the King of Swords? You're moving forward here, where there definitely was a big sword that came in. The Two of Swords, Temperance card, and the King of Swords. And then you're moving forward into calmer waters where, yeah, there's just someone here that was causing your waters to be choppier than they needed to. You know, where you're in a season, a cycle. There's something about this reading, though, where this person has to learn a lesson of nobody has to explain it to you. You know, like you don't have to know. Nobody has to explain it. This is someone that was just bringing ripples into your life that it was unnecessary. The Six of Swords is a card of moving into calmer waters. But your choppy waters could have been because of an unseen influence. Again, we have a lot of Aries, Leo, Sag. We also have some Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, where you move forward into calmer waters when there was something in the unseen. So I would say check out your 12th house. Some of you could be sensitive to energy that you could just feel this energy. But that's what I'm seeing. All right. So what's the advice for this reading on confusion, silence, breaking point, retaliation? They're sending you conflict while you're just in hermit mode. Confirmation of this entire reading. You are in spiritual solitude. You're in personal solitude. This person will receive karma if they don't stop bringing chaos and conflict to, I'm with God. I'm in a season with God. This is a season, a cycle of a little bit more silence. It's not personal. And this is actually the kind of reading of like, leave me alone. You know, why the Five of Wands and the Hermit card for advice of retaliation? Baby. Leave the collective alone. It's like what I'm seeing in this reading. You are going to have something huge. And for example, it's not this person's business. Like this person will receive, you know, and I keep seeing financial karma for this person. You got a 10 of coins on the, with this 10 of coins here and the 6 of Wands, victory, success on the bottom of the deck. You do have a fated, like this is your soul destiny. And that's the key thing of this reading. This person doesn't realize that they're actually trying to interfere on a very, very holy, sacred process. You are going through a spiritual rebirth. You are going through rebirth in general. This is also, again, this is a season, a cycle that it's hermit mode. Not from your ego. You're not trying to be mean. You're not hiding anything. You're going through initiation. You're going through a divine ascension process and you're very protected during it. And again, I will say it's going to get to the point that this person gets cut out from your life or you start to become like, you know, again, spiritually protected from this person. They're actually the ones that are bringing a ripple wave to your waters. As soon as they're cut off from your energetic field, all of this is restored here. You know, and again, it's actually something very beautiful and you're not even hiding it from them. It's spiritual, it's not personal. All right, that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.